It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range. And I have a real treat for you tonight. I have Jenny Lee and Miss Jeep on. So let me bring them on. And I'd like to let you know that my internet has been kind of wonky all day today, and if at any point I might have to just go, we might just have to put pictures only up, but we'll worry about that when the time comes. So let me bring on our newest guest, Miss Jeep. Welcome.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
And then let me bring on Miss Jenny Lee. Hi Jenny, how are you?
Good, really good.
Good. Well, we got lots to talk about. We got corruption unlimited.
Right.
Across the board. So we can talk about that. And let me see, bring up the chat so that, we got a lot of people in the chat already. Happy to see everybody together. So, well, where should we start? I don't even know where to start.
I don't know. Pick a subject. We can start from the top and go all the way to the bottom. It's going to be a lot.
Okay. Well, we could start with, how about the IRS?
My favorite subject. Dismantling phases. I mean, it's being dismantled, and Elon Musk is in the door of the IRS. So it's what they say, little pig, let me in. Right off the Walking the Dead, right? Is that what show is that where he has a bat and he has a nail on it?
I think it's the Walking Dead, I believe.
Yeah, it's their turn. Yeah, it's your turn. Thunder's coming, buddy. So this is the thing too with all those agents, and if they're doing corruption too, they're going to be prosecuted too. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to jail.
That's it.
They're all going to jail. I'm just saying. I can't say that enough. They're going to jail. They're all going to jail.
Well, they all betrayed us.
Yes.
But
they all didn't think they were going to get caught either. And
no, and they think they're above the law.
They do. Perfectly. I mean, and they don't have control of anything anymore. And the thing is, people are protesting like, I'm not paying taxes. I'm not paying taxes. I'm not paying taxes. So that's what's happening. It's an epidemic. No one's paying taxes now.
That's a good thing. I'm glad. Because if you do pay your taxes, you're just paying it to the cabal, basically.
Right. And that is not a free world. At some point, you got to stand up and say enough is enough. So, and the states can't do anything anymore. I mean, their hands are going to be tied too. So the whole thing about this is they're at the beginning of a new world, and the lawlessness process is out of control. And so we're trying to go after the ones who have prosecuted people for being innocent, and because they were always the ones that were the dirty ones. I'm telling you, and I told Jeep this too, I believe there's a stimulus coming. I think we're going to get some type of amount of money that's coming. I'm just telling you, I sense it, I feel it. And it's not a stimulus in the way that's going to take out of our taxes. It's not that. This is different. This is the whole new system process situation. So that's what's going on. The corruptions is just crazy and fast, because I said everything would come to the light.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, where's
Yes,
your dog?
and it definitely
I haven't
is.
heard your
Some
dog.
of Doge just
Oh, they're conked
just
out.
entered the
Go ahead, Gail.
just entered the IRS building.
Yes.
They just entered it today. And remember when they hired like what is it, 80,000 new IRS agents supposedly? Remember that?
Yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure they're all quit too. I'm sure they're going
Yeah.
to quit.
No, because they don't want to get sent down to the border.
Right. So they're
They
going
don't
to
want to
quit.
do that job.
Exactly.
They're going to quit. So, I mean, after, because you have to actually do an efficient job there now if you stay, by the way. You would have to actually go to work and be there and do things accurately.
Mm-hmm.
And listen to the boss. Not
They're
who pays
finding
you and pays you off. Well, I'm sure the IRS agents are paid off too. They're
Oh, of
paid to go after
course.
certain individuals. They're paid off. So,
And
here we
of
are
course, they're
again.
going to audit anyone who's considered a dissident or anyone who's not on board with their corruption schemes.
Right.
So, and somebody mentioned the National Guard, and the National Guard has been deputized into the I don't know what you call it, into U.S. Marshals Service.
Yes,
as
they
well.
have.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Exactly. So they're the ones that have to deal with all the corruption, and they're the ones that are going to have to deal with the crooked cops. I mean, people are not ready for that end of things. Cops are going to jail too. I mean, the Masons are going to jail. The whole process of that. It's all a society.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're all secret
they
society.
they all hang out together. They all distribute jobs to their relatives and so on. And who was it? Here somebody has Malia Obama had received 2.2 million from USA. So did Chelsea Clinton. I don't remember what figure she got, but it was millions.
Right.
So these people take care of themselves at the expense of the American people.
Yes, they do.
And they
absolutely no hearts.
None.
Child Protective Services. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
I think the insurance is going down. Another one.
Well, that's a big scam anyway.
Education. Another big scam.
Oh, yes. Talk about controlling and brainwashing American children.
Yeah.
And bringing up all this transgender crap. There are two genders. I'm sorry. That's the only way I can see it. All of this stuff that's attached to the birth certificate is going down as well. They're not supposed to be able to use them anymore. And that's exactly what the courts, the prosecutors and judges and jails have all used all along. Yeah. That's a whole nother area.
This is the thing with Elon Musk on that. This is the thing is like release the bond of our certificate. Let us collect on it on our own soul. Let us collect. It's time. That part of the birth certificate needs to be collected, and we need to collect it. Us as an individual. Period. Across the board.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole process of us being holding that bond as a certificate. When this gets to a certain point, we should be able to collect on the birth certificate. That's what I put it. I put actually on X tonight. We need to collect on our birth certificate. That's the first thing we need to do. You know, so there should be no holds bars on collecting on those certificates now. Well, the only thing I would do it before, they wouldn't let us do before because there was still a crooked process. We couldn't get into it. So now they need to allow the floodgates open so we can collect on the birth certificate.
Oh, yeah, here it is. Look at how much Sherry has. Chelsea received 38 million.
38 million.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Unreal. Well, people are, Americans are homeless, freezing to death in North Carolina. still. The fires in even though the fires may have brought down some very satanic things, yet nobody is being helped. They're helping the illegal aliens more than they're helping the Americans.
Right.
They're cutting the Americans off from many benefits, and they're giving them to illegal aliens. And I know that's all supposed to stop because of Mr. T. But apparently there's a lot of people that just are continuing business as usual and don't feel like they have to be accountable for any of it. And keep doing what they've always been doing.
Right. Well, because they always feel that they're above everyone else.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Not no more.
Why, Jenny?
The light is
like
winning.
going to jail.
The light is winning. You're going to jail. Yes, exactly. You're going to be loaded up on the white buses.
They're going to have to get all those school buses and paint them white.
Yes.
And haul all the aliens off to jail because they're not going to have enough.
Yeah. That'll be the last time they get on a school bus.
There's not going to be enough room in jails.
No, there isn't. No, there isn't.
While they're doing all this corruption investigation, it would be easier to find what would be done correctly and uncorrupted than it would what's corrupted, because everything's corrupted. I don't even know if you could even find anything that's not corrupted.
There isn't.
Right.
It's in every part of the government. I mean, that's a cesspool. That's what they say, a swamp. It's horrid. So, I mean, all it is, they just need to have a firing line. Fired, 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 fired. Jail, jail, jail that way. Buses that way. I mean, they just had to have 3 directions. That's it.
Well, they really have to be military tribunals, too, because they can tie things up in the courts forever. Because attorneys are part of our problem as well. Attorneys and judges in courts.
Yes. They're going to jail, too. They're all going to jail. You can't prosecute when all these other people that are done doing the prosecute, they're part of the problem. The people are going to have to stand up, just like they did way back then in the West. They had to make their own judgment on the situation, on a trustful process. I'm just telling you, they're all corrupted. They're all paid off. It's done.
It's prison barges will work, Linda said.
Yeah.
I think they are actually, and somebody's asking if FEMA will be dissolved. I'm sure it's in process right now.
Yeah, that one's going to be gone too.
Unbelievable. I mean, what they did? Are you kidding me? Talk about working directly against the American people. And then when we look at how we have paid money to just about every single country while they have the audacity to even badmouth us. And it's never been the American people themselves. We were bamboozled. We were hoodwinked. We
were bent over. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just saying. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's bad.
True. It's that bad. Yes, it is. So, and this goes all the way down, this goes all the way down to the cities, municipal taxes, county taxes, state taxes. And this country was founded on the fact that people left Europe because they were overtaxed. And here we are, every single thing. I mean, you got to have a fishing license. You got to have a driver's license. You got to have a permit to build on your house. You have to do, I mean, you're supposed to do all this stuff. And why we ever let it go as far as we did, I'll never know. But
because we put our guard down. We didn't ask questions. Yeah, and a good old church put that in us. I'm just saying. That's all religion.
And school system.
Yeah, and the churches. Both of them.
Mm-hmm. They got us all.
They did.
See. I'm just checking in the chat to see what we got going on. Somebody's asking if the North Carolinians are out of the cold yet. Some of them are. I know that I don't remember the figure, but thank God for the Amish people who came and built them tiny houses. I don't see anybody else. What other group of people did that? Now that's a community that sticks together.
I know.
That's the kind of thing that we have to move toward.
Well, the Amish have been saving our ass lately. They saved us on voting, and they're out there saving and making sure people have shelter. So yeah, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Now we just need a bunch of contractors to build these barges so we can hang them high.
The wages of what they've done to treason is rather high, and it is treason.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to contain them; you just need to hang them high for treason. And
plus, it has got to go through the military tribunal, or they will tie things up in courts forever. Because
who's going to run unless the Supreme Court? Because the rest of them are illegal in the first place.
Yeah. Well, the Supreme Court is a corporation too.
Yeah.
All of them are corporations. That's what's the mind-boggling thing of it. Every single department, every single one of them are business for profit. And you don't believe me, look them up on Dun & Bradstreet, because Dun & Bradstreet is the credit bureau for corporations.
Mm-hmm. Right.
This is really true, Kevin. The Amish demonstrated what fellowship is all about.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
They practice what they preach. That is so awesome. Let's see. Now that's a good question. Why do we need tags on our license plates? We need tags on our license plates because they want to make money off of us. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
We were supposed to have the right to travel unencumbered. We do not. We have not. Mm-hmm. And until people stand up to that, it will continue. The whole idea, that all goes back to the birth certificate too, because they're all capitalized name. You'll see it's all capped on your driver's license.
Yes, it is.
It's all capped on anything that's court related. So look at this. Yeah, this is so true. This is really talk about corruption. FEMA spent $58 million on luxury hotels for the illegals and gave North Carolina victims a $750 loan that had to be paid back within a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. After losing everything, there's no way someone could do that unless they already had a lot of money that hadn't been stolen from them. Good grief. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable.
Exactly. I mean, it's not any good. I mean, we're at the crumbling stage of the corporation. I mean, that's where everybody needs to stop it all, stop it across this nation, period. It needs to stop. We need to stop feeding them on every aspect of it.
Exactly.
So I think as they get into the FBI and the DOJ doing their thing, this is the thing, is they're not going to stop over the weekend. They're going to keep going. I'm just telling you, they're like, we've been waiting. We're not worried about working weekends. They're just going to get in there and I guarantee if don't be surprised if you see some stuff tomorrow morning.
Did you see the pictures of the young men that were the Doge engineers and geeks, so to speak? They were very young, very young.
Because it's the blue coil children is what they call them, mm-hmm. High intelligence. And it has nothing to do with degrees. It has to do with a gifted, a gifted ability to do something that serves this world. And Elon Musk sees it, and he knows that they utilize it and apply it. So mm-hmm. You want to call them super warriors, they are.
Yes. And they're going in there and kicking butt and taking names.
They are. They're getting the job done.
They sure are. That's awesome. Yeah, Kevin is saying that licenses are what you get when the government steals your rights and sells them back to you. That's exactly right.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing is what I think what's going to happen in the next week. I mean, you guys get ready for a bloody week, because it's going to be, the punches are going to get, and you're going to see the left. They don't have the strength to fight what's coming out, and they're just going to rip the Band-Aid open. And And the right doesn't care if they're bleeding all over the floor. They're like, everybody's gonna see it. Just bear with us. But they're all going to jail. I'm just saying.
Somebody's saying, what do you say to this? Somebody says, until Trump changes the law, pay your taxes. What do you think about that?
No.
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 Don't do it. Don't feed the beast.
Exactly. At what point is you?
Somebody said, should I pay my property tax?
Who you're here, and if you don't have enough to stand up and have the guts to say no more, not one more bloody dime.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it does take guts to do that. You have to be willing to stand up, and I don't think the consequences are going to be
okay.
that
I want
much.
to see this dog is on the debt clock. Oh, I know that, but I want Elon Musk, and I keep telling him he needs to change that debt clock and get things going for the new humanity website. You need to remove the debt clock and get that done, because I don't know if you guys noticed, nothing's changed on that debt clock on that picture. It hasn't been changed for a good week.
Wow. Well,
Yeah,
the
they
debt
change
clock,
it, not now.
as far as the debt is concerned, I don't think that's the American people's debt. Those are corporate debts that were created by these monsters that have stolen everything from the hardworking Americans who have taxes, have paid for everything around the world, just like
Right.
with Trump adding these tariffs. I think that's absolutely awesome. That's the way things used to be. These companies, not only did they move out of the United States, but they're not paying any tariffs or anything. They sell their stuff over here. We don't have that manufacturing anymore. What are we getting out of it? Nothing.
Well, now it's changed because Trump said, you charge us, we charge you.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the way it is.
All of this is kind of what I'm wondering is as we move out of the corporate
so the DOGE
status,
has a website now. The DOGE has a website.
is that what somebody said? I don't see it, but
I don't know. If they do, put it in there. We'd like to all see it.
yeah. Somebody's worrying about paying their property tax.
Yeah.
That just proves that we don't own anything, because slaves can't own anything.
Right.
We are actually debt slaves. And do you know that law enforcement is a euphemism for slave catcher? You can find it in Wikipedia if you don't believe me. That's how it started. It started when the black slaves were, if they escaped, they would be checking your papers and stuff like that. Well, we moved from that kind of slavery to a more subtle and stealthy slavery known as debt slavery. So You're still a slave because you can never get out of debt. And somebody's asking, well, what if that almost looks like it's from Rumble. That's interesting. What if we already paid our taxes? Will we get it all back? Well,
I think you're going to get it back to a certain, I think they're going to go back at least 7 to 10 years. So we'll see what happens on that. They need to go back to a certain.
But you need to stop paying them. You need to stop feeding the beast, because that's what you're doing. And people have to stand together. If everybody does it, it's not a problem. If only one here or one there, it's easy for them to be a problem or make it a problem for people. So we really need to be.
We can't go after everybody if everybody's doing it.
Exactly. And that's where people need to come together, because it's so important. I don't know what this is. Somebody has a question for you, Jenny. Is it true that the UK is 4 years behind the USA in this war?
I would say at least 2 years.
Yeah, here New York is telling us what illegal immigrants got $3,500 a month EBT. A senior works 40 years, pays taxes, and gets $20 a month equals. I don't know how you.
They need to take all the money back, and I don't think they're paying illegals anymore. I think they shut it down.
When have they ever given that amount to any American?
They haven't.
They haven't.
No.
Exactly. And you should be a little bit upset about that, I would think. Yes, taxes are voluntary, but once you volunteer, they're after you. And if you have a wait a minute, here's this. The Democrats are doing the walk of shame. They should have course corrected long ago. Their persistence indicates they have no choice. That's why they're fighting this as extensively as they are, because they know the gig is up. And
the gig is up, but the trail is to their bank accounts, and then they can freeze the bank accounts that they have.
And they've been doing that kind of thing from what I
understand. They've already been doing it, yes.
Right.
And that's all
and
they
it's
gotta
funny
do.
because they're going to lose it anyway. They're fighting for no reason.
I have noticed, though, that, you still have, like if you go to the store and you buy something, they're still charging taxes on goods.
Because they haven't went after the states yet. They need to put the kibosh on the states. So whenever they get in, the states are next. The states are next because they're not going to get any money if they don't go by the authority of the government in the way that they do it. They're not going to get money. So they need to go after the states. I mean,
because the states were part of the incorporated, the USA Incorporated. The states were just franchises of the main corporation. So that has to be taken down too.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that's coming soon, but he's got to put the kibosh on the states.
Here's the other thing that's just starting to come out, and that is, I should hope everyone would want to see this document. It's about the main commodity USA, and is using dollars for trafficking our children. Okay, yes. That's what it's coming down to as they find out more and more about this corruption and so on. It has a lot to do with the trafficking of children. And actually, when you think about it, in the courts, because of the birth certificate, they're trafficking persons, which they made into corporations all along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So people just don't know it, but somebody asked, okay, who wants to answer this one? Is Trump fake?
I mean,
he has people filling in for him, or they would probably
I mean, there's
kill him.
a supply of Trump's filling in for him. I mean, I don't think the real one's been out for a long time. So
exactly, I don't either.
Which fake one are you talking about? So there's fill-ins just like everybody else.
Somebody here says that I filled my taxes yesterday and I'm getting money back. That's a trap. But, people probably haven't paid taxes for 2 years. Since I retired, I haven't either. Navigate accordingly. Yeah, this is wise advice from Teresa. Navigate accordingly depending on your situation. But we do have to start standing together. Somebody's getting her tax refund. Wow. That's how they lure you in.
Yeah, exactly. So they are, there's a lot of things going on. I mean, there's so much they're ripping off the Band-Aid. There's so much in the...
Yeah. Free-range debt slaves, exactly. It's a free-range prison, and the, let's see, how did that go? The prison guards and the judges, and they're all involved.
all of
them. And here's another one. Police's policy enforcement, and the policy they're not there. They're not peace officers like the facade is made. They are there to make money for their department because they're a business too. They're mercenaries, being paid by a foreign corporation, and how that eventually is going to come apart, I'm not sure, but that's what it boils down to. It's They're mercenaries. And it's actually treasonous what's going on, because a friend of mine says they're technically they're felons because of what they're doing.
Yeah.
Which is hard to believe. They don't know it though. People have been blinded. They don't even realize it, but they're going to find out real quick. In fact, I heard that notices went out. Do you know anything about that?
Notices about what?
About that the judges and attorneys all needed to be retrained in constitutional law. Personally, I think
yes, and they have to sign a contract with a constitutional law, not the corporation. If they haven't signed it, they're doing it. They have to sign it, or they're illegal. Period. Yeah, it's all corruption.
It is. It's unbelievable how bad it is. Some of the things in the Obama healthcare too included guillotine purchases and all kinds of just unbelievable stuff. But that's all been hidden too.
Yeah, it is. It's a.
Well, now they can use those on those other individuals who deserve it.
Right. Yeah. So like the judges, and the attorneys, and it's all a trickle effect. I mean, once you have the upper judges, and then everything's a trickle effect. So it's going to go down to attorneys. It's going to go down to police departments. You got to understand. I mean, there's no way that people are not going to be able to get out of stepping in when all these people are gone. You can't trust them again.
No,
ever.
You can't.
No.
I think they have to be fired and new people hired.
Terminated.
I don't know that they can unprogram themselves.
No, they can't. They're so used to being corrupted. And who's going to trust any judgment that they say? Nobody. Right. It's like trusting CNN. There's no possible way we could ever do it again. It's not going to happen.
Legally, every penny collected during a fraud scheme would have to be forfeited. It might not be sensible in this case, but at the same time, every case, fraud vitiates everything, and that's stated from way back in the late 1800s under the Constitutional Republic. And there's another word that people need to lose, and that is democracy. We do not want a democracy. We want a constitutional republic. There's a big difference. You have individual rights with a constitutional republic. You don't with a democracy. For example, just as an example, if you were look at what happened with the program that went out with everybody got this. If that was a majority, and because they're a majority, they could force you and I, who would say absolutely no, because they're a majority.
Right.
So no, we don't want that type of situation.
No, not at all.
I think it's going to take a lot for...
Straws are back. Yeah. Do you want to talk about that? I know what the straws mean.
Oh, and he signed the EO for the straws?
So this is why I'm excited about this, because the birth certificate, they have to release them to us. They should be releasing our bonds.
Okay, I'm trying to catch up with... Oh, this can we address this issue? Because I think it's a lie.
What is a lie?
The real Trump died in a helicopter crash in 1989 on its way to Atlantic City.
I haven't seen anything on that. I don't believe the original Trump is alive from way back then. I believe that, like I've said, in 2016, this being using this vessel has been here since 2000, and it's been here for a while. Anyway, so I don't think it's the same person from a long time ago. Yeah.
So you're saying we have a Trump 2.0, basically.
Yes. But it's not of a human, it's more of a spiritual energy.
Leader.
Yes.
Shepherd, as you say sometimes.
Yes, the shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
What about, they say that the med beds have been held up by the Fraud and Death Association, I mean the FDA.
I don't think so, because I don't think they exist anymore.
What, the FDA?
Yeah, they're not supposed to be around either.
Right. So they're holding up as not.
They're holding up, and I know because I talked to someone who works with the real beds, and she also told me as soon as the financing goes 24 hours, the med beds will go. It'll release. So if they can release the finance, they can release the med beds. Again, military only, not a civilian. A military will be in control of the situation.
Okay, and what about the debt jubilee? We talked about that before, and it was your contention that we would have to have debt relief before we would get any funds.
Money.
So that's
because they
just in that
said,
order.
and I'll tell you why. Because if the debt goes, you're already like, whoo, there's really no worry. Okay, and then you're just waiting for abundance to come in, right?
Right.
Then the abundance come in, and then that process of healing comes in. It's that would be a normal order for the situation.
Yeah.
Because we have to do the debt first to relieve that panic. Once that's relieved, then the way you're looking at your money, you're like, I don't need to buy anything. I don't need to get this because everything is cleared, right? So there's not that panic to spend or pay this off. They don't want you to pay anything off. That debt has to go first.
Mm-hmm.
And then the healing process starts.
And somewhere in between all that, there has to be a new learning system for all of those, even this older people who are not aware of all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Everyone's going to learn it.
Most people aren't aware of a lot of this stuff, unfortunately. And when are they going to start informing the public? When, they talk about the tribunals and people learning about what's going on by actually seeing the tribunals and the confessions of many of these people. Do you believe that's still on board and that'll happen?
Yes, I do. I believe it's still on board, and that's the only way they're going to have, because you're going to be forced to see it. You're not going to be able to change the channel at all. It's like, you're going to watch this. And if someone that doesn't is, it's just like, you're in denial. You can't only run from it to a certain point. So, yeah.
Somebody's saying they believe that Trump's the spirit of General Patton. That was actually his father, from what I understand.
All I can tell you, I'm going to tell you guys about this. I didn't have a choice, and I felt like this whole situation with when I moved here and all that stuff, and then there was such a push to get involved in right before the election of 2016, and this is the thing they told me. They're like, it's not the vessel you think it is. It's highly guarded. That's the first thing they said. So, and I knew at that time it's impossible for anything for him to happen to him. So this is why it cracks me up when people say, well, like Benjamin, like I called that out the other day about, he's saying, oh, Trump died in a helicopter accident. And I go, well, then you know nothing about the military and how that works. And it's impossible. They don't understand the higher technology and all the advancement. There's too much in the 3D crap, and it's putting fear porn out there. So,
I was really surprised you said that. I really was.
Well, money talks, I guess.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah.
So the whole process of, it's just impossible. If you really understand, it's impossible at this point. So, yeah. So, I mean, it was a complete fear program.
Yeah. Somebody's talking about food prices. Yeah, they're kind of outrageous right now. And some states make you pay taxes on them. That'll go away.
I know Kennedy is going to be interesting, keeping an eye on that. I mean, I know they're supposed to go down because they all monopolized, and they all grocery stores brought the prices up on purpose. It was to squeeze out the middle class, and now Trump's already caught them, and he's going to push them way down. So,
right, I'm so happy about Kennedy being in the position of the health and welfare, that position, because he says that the companies are not going to be able to poison our food anymore, because that's another thing they've been doing. There are so many, chemicals in our food that are not allowed in Europe, for example. They have food products from the United States in a separate area, saying it's kind of like eat at your own risk.
And yeah, it is.
And here, that's all we have to choose from. And it's amazing how the evil that's been perpetrated against the American people. Directly.
It doesn't stop. I mean, you guys got to understand, we were supposed to be dead by now, people. Look at us, we're still here. What does that tell you? Amazing grace. All I can say is some of us just, you can't kill us. I'm just saying.
Amazing grace.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It can't happen. It's just not. There's this resistance in us, and
a good one too.
Yeah.
These are corporations too. Credit scores. That's a corporation. Yeah. That's part of the problem too.
Yeah, and I think that's changing too. So
that's all going away. Yeah.
That needs to go soon. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, you're looking around, and that's where Spirit says, everything must burn to the ground. And they're right. They were right. Walk through the fire, because everything must surge, burn, all of it. And then from that point, you can look at things and say, okay, now this is real. Now we can start over. Now we can create again in a real time frame and realistic images, and not some fake stuff anymore.
Somebody's asking if you said there was an executive order for the strawman accounts to be released.
What I'm saying is if you go watch Trump today, he was getting into that. And this is the thing with the strawman release and the birth certificates. We need to get our access to those birth certificates and let us trade in our bond. Let us, as the individual that was born, trade in the bond. At least get that started.
Yeah. So Lisa Puri says, so they get rid of the judges, then does that mean those in prison will get released? Well, there's a lot of people in prison that don't belong there, and it's because we have prisons for profit, just like everything else. No victim, no crime. And sometimes even if there is a victim, the system has a way of stacking stuff against someone in order to make sure something sticks, because they make money when they get convictions, and it's as simple as that.
They do.
And judges get a portion of any fines, and I don't know what they get when they send someone to prison, but I'm sure there's some setup with that as well. It's
pay to play.
So
it's like the doctors giving the things, they got a cut too.
Yes. Fraud vitiates everything. So anything that's been done in fraud, so technically a lot of the jails, the courts, the prosecution, all that stuff, that was all done in fraud. Nobody was told, well, you're a corporation and we're going to treat you as such, and yada yada yada. None of that's happened. So
I don't know how teachers union too. The teachers
oh my God.
Union
Yeah, that's a whole nother one too.
Teachers union is another one that's going to be just a cesspool of evilness.
Yeah. See, and this is saying all my money goes to debt, food bills, rent or mortgage, whatever it happens to be. And that's how we've become debt slaves. We're in a free range prison.
Right. Exactly. And then when you say no and you defy the whole matrix processes is when they have an issue with you.
Oh yeah, they most certainly do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do.
But if more people did it, they wouldn't be able to do anything. That's why we got to get more people on board and educated about these things. Because a lot of times once you find out about this, it's really hard to do what they want you to do because you know what's going on. So Kevin is saying changing from the Federal Reserve note to a Treasury note should void all debt contracts. One note is not the same as the other. Right. Plus, we did not create the debt that they keep talking about. The corporations did. And they, were stealing from us left and right.
Yeah, it's going to get pretty bad. The money's going to get pretty bad. And then, it's like I said, at some point, you've got to give the money back to the people.
Yes. And I don't know if they're concerned about the safety of the people in terms of giving that money back. Is the cabal going to go after the people that get some money or stuff like that? Because there's talk about non-disclosure agreements and things of that nature. So I don't know how that's going to work exactly, but
well, I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, when Trump is telling you winning, I mean, we have to, we're recognizing all the debt, fraud debt, all this stuff. Okay. And once we have gotten to a point that we just expect it, then it's like, okay, now give us our money back. Yes. Give us the money back. All of it. But I already told you, I think we own Amazon. I think we own all this stuff. We own a lot of stuff already. They took it back. They already prosecuted them to the point of crimes against humanity. Took their bank account, froze their bank account. Mm-hmm. I think all that is part of what we're getting back. So it's just, what's going to be the first thing that they're going to start refunding us on? That's the thing. So I just believe it's a stimulus. And it's to stimulate the golden age, to stimulate the economy, to get things going again.
Exactly, especially in America. The media needs to go. We are having media personnel picked up too.
Yeah.
They lied to us left and right because they were paid off too.
Yep, like everybody else. And that's the way Spirit, kind of presented it. We sent many into your world, but not all of them made it. And that's the thing, because everything was a test for humanity, and in some way to see that you are either going to bite the hand that feeds you, or you're going to do the noble thing and do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them, they chose the wrong side, and they have nowhere to go now, nowhere to hide, and so it's all going to be seen, public eye. There's no hidden hole that they can hide in anymore at all. There's nobody protecting them, because then you're going to see how bad they're going to turn against each other when it comes down to the very end. It's going to be a shark on shark situation.
Well, I never heard this one before, but someone's indicating that President Trump might be Archangel Uriel. Question mark. Interesting.
Don't get that.
Jenny's saying she doesn't get that. So Anyway, I never heard that before either. So it's just, that's totally new.
Yeah, it seems like X is the big media now, huh?
Somebody's asking about the eggs and the flu. That's all a farce. If anything, they started it.
Yeah, it's just another propaganda. I'm surprised the spiritual community hasn't jumped on that. But yeah, no, it's just another propaganda.
Well, if you think about it, Why would it just be chickens? There's all kinds of birds. Why is it just the chickens?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I know.
Yeah, the other birds
They all
should
lay
be
eggs. You know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Some of the things we've fallen for in the past are just kind of go, oh my God, I can't believe it.
Yeah. How many times has Jimmy Carter got to die? I just want to know.
Not only
Just seems
going
like
after CPS, which is huge, the Red Cross as well. Yes. Well,
Yes.
CPS. See, the way they had
Yeah.
everything set up, you didn't own your children. When you signed that birth certificate, mothers didn't know this, but, you know, and they changed it on the birth certificates later on. On my birth certificate, my mother is listed as an informant.
Wow.
Oh wow.
And that's because you were, you know, and that indicates you were abandoned at sea, and then that just pulls all the admiralty law into your situation. They continue to do the exact same thing, only they took that off because too many people were finding out about it and what that implies or means. So,
Not surprised, you know, at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it's just, it doesn't stop.
every time I see the Red Cross advertising, you know, a blood drive, I cringe.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's all about putting your arm out, right? Put your arm
Yeah.
out.
Mm-hmm.
Trust
Yeah.
us. I don't think so.
No. What about home mortgages? We'll lose our homes from foreclosure. No, you will not.
No.
That whole racket, that was a racket right there.
Racketeer. That's a racketeer. And the banks didn't even have the money to do it. So they had to get to, I think it was some of the banks to stay in service. They had to have at 30% of their own gold to function. So they had to get it from somewhere, but they couldn't use us as their certificate no more.
Good.
I'm just looking through some of the questions. See what we got here. There's somebody talking to you, Jenny.
State to help. Oh my gosh, you got that right. I was stuck in an awful
Yeah.
state. I hate this state. I'm in the pit. It is the pit. Yeah, I agree.
I made quite a change here, and I don't know what to think of it at this point in time.
Yep, there's a lot of lights that need to be held and shown in the light.
Mm-hmm.
On a state level, they need to be showing this and putting this out there publicly all the time as people can access this and read it. So the states, they're on the shit list. They might think, well, we're not getting it right now, the federal is, but you trust me, it's coming. And Minnesota is one of the dirtiest states.
Oh, okay. So many addictive chemicals. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit in our food and the fast food. And I actually, you know, I was used to be in the nutrition field.
I know we lost Gail.
Yeah, I think
she'll be back.
Elon Musk needs to work on his satellite.
We had a connection loss for a minute there. So anyway, these I was talking about food scientists were actually asked to create addictive chemicals to add to food and to cigarettes. They do that to those too. So
yeah, everything. There's so much that they put in. You know, I think going to the grocery store and getting something is just like, it's like a nightmare.
Yeah.
You don't get to just go in and pick stuff. You have to sit there with your dictionary and your books and you check up all the everything because you're just like, I mean, it's pretty easy from when I go out to dinner. I don't go to any name brand commercial line food place at all. I have to go to mom and pop places.
That's what I do too. I kind of look for off brands, not the major brands are a real problem. They're the ones that are adding stuff to our food. That's not good. Somebody is asking, hi ladies, coming in late, wondering if you could look at Buckeye in Phoenix, Arizona, Jenny. Any warnings? Thanks in advance. We'll be listening to the replay. Have to go to class.
Buckeye, Arizona.
That's outside of Phoenix, kind of like a semi-suburb.
I think the only thing, what did I say on that one, Jeep? I said the Phoenix would just be a pit, but they would have to go through the military.
Right. You said the military would have to go through it.
Yeah, I didn't see any weather or anything like that. It's just clearing it from.
Well, there was a section outside of, kind of like a suburb of Phoenix, and I don't remember the name of it right now, but it was supposed to be a smart city. It was supposed to be set up as a smart city, and there may be more of that coming in the future. So that's the only thing that I've heard. That I can't verify it right now if that's the case, but there's a lot of smart cities on board, because these municipalities are as corrupt as our state, county.
The thing is that they'll be isolated in their own cities and behind a fence, and they'll get a taste of it if they want to get a taste of it, because the rest of us don't want to be interacted with that. And that's the same thing as you saw in Oregon. They wanted to stay in the city, and they turned off their internet, and they folded very quickly. They have no idea what it's like about a real war. They have no clue of that. These kids are weak. They're not strong. They don't understand war in any type of conflict, and being uncomfortable and being wet and being stuck outside, and literally that's a different type of. Generation X knows. We went through boot camp because our parents didn't care.
Not by choice. Right.
Just telling you.
Oh, here's another one. Here's a good one. What about electricity companies? They're going to be destroyed as well.
Yes, they are.
They have been charging us buku bucks.
Oh, I know.
And we got all these ugly lines all over, these power lines and stuff, when none of that was necessary.
Right. None of it.
Because free energy, they've had that technology for eons, only they kept it away from us. They have kept so much from us to keep us down and dependent on a system that really hates us.
Exactly.
Oh, somebody's asking about HARP, if it's been dismantled.
I think it has been.
I think so.
I don't think they have the key no more. Just put it that way.
However, we do have some earth changes as a result of Gaia herself, but that's different.
Yeah, I think and this is what I was talking about, and Jeep says, and I think we have the real sun that I think is out now. Now I'm waiting for this door, and I think that door that I've been talking about with you guys for a long time, I think we're hours away from it.
Thank goodness.
We're
we need that door open.
That door is going to be open. So once that door is open, then this is the thing, you're going to be feeling different. This abundance you can feel that it's coming. And that's where I said you've got to watch nature. You got to watch animals, how they're reacting to this whole abundance getting ready to come.
Yes.
So.
Okay, somebody's talking about the sky is completely clouded over for a full moon tonight in Arizona. It's clouded over in a lot of places. It was we had a little bit of clearing today, but it seems like they're always
hiding,
trying to cloud over the skies to hide whatever they're trying to hide. However, if the chemtrails are stopped by RFK Jr., who he said he was going to do that, they won't be able to blanket the skies with clouds and everything else so that we can't see what's actually there.
Right.
Okay.
I think there's a lot up there too. I'm just waiting for them. Some of them can come right on down. I'm ready. Just bring it on down.
Okay, so a concern about privatization, that's been the problem. Q-Face asks, how much change do you think will happen this year? Any guesses?
How much
Jenny?
change will? I mean, I think
It's hard to measure.
How we travel, what we eat, how we look at money. I think a lot of things are going to change for the healthier side of things. We're going from poison to damaged cells to damaged body to everything damaged to nutrition and real water. Everything is going to do a flip. So I think this is a big year. We have to get out of 3D timing. Things are going to take forever. Get out of that concept because we're not in that concept no more. And as you really want to know, these timelines are changing pretty fast. We are not going to have time like that again. It's going to take years and years and years. So, I mean, because things are happening overnight. And that's the whole process with this is you have to look at this in a vast way. And then if you catch yourself understanding the memory of one timeline to another timeline, and you wake up when you're understanding that, like, we're not, and I pick this up a lot of times, and I'm like, we're not moving in any timeline. We're just in a standstill. You have to pay attention to that. Don't be distracted by what you're seeing out in this world. Kind of step behind that plate of glass and disconnect that energy, because you got to go by your body too, telling you, where are we at? What am I actually connected to? What am I actually feeling? What is the emotion? What is it really tied to? That's what you need to follow. That's the whole thing. Check your reality. Check your balance, everything. Don't consume that this is your reality. It's what you're hearing and seeing, because that could change in 24 hours.
Yes, it can. Kevin's mentioning we're the only species in the universe that has to pay to live on the planet that we were born on. That is so true. So true. But it's about to change drastically.
The walls are coming down soon. The true winds of the east, the north, the south, and the west are going to be blowing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Debt forgiveness is not going to take all the way to August. No.
Did somebody say that somewhere? I don't see it.
It's on Joe Blow, but no. It's not going to take that long.
Yeah. I'm just looking at see what we got. Oh, they're getting into the Medicare and Medicaid fraud. That should be real interesting.
That's a scam.
Do you know that? Mm-hmm. Do you know that around here, where
doctors and nurses are involved, and the billing secretaries, they know what they're doing too. They know that was illegal in there. Going to jail, just going to jail.
Yep.
Seems like a lot of them are running. So we're seeing a lot of doctors who aren't there anymore. The practices aren't there anymore.
Wow.
And they're not even telling their patients.
Yeah,
I go into a store here in Arkansas, and they are still promoting get your flu shot, get your COVID-19 and your flu shot. Mm-hmm. And I'm surprised that they're even able to still put that out there.
Is that Walgreens? Because let me tell you, they're like the biggest slut out there for that COVID thing.
Yeah, that's where you
the big
hit
stores.
it on the nail head. That's who it was.
Yeah,
in this area.
Yeah, they're the biggest, I would say, whore for COVID.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they are going to jail. So, I mean, that's the whole thing. So, I mean, don't keep your eye off of Elon Musk. You want to watch news, just go watch his station on X. You want to watch anything, go watch the DOGE. Go watch them.
Yeah.
That's what we're keeping an eye on. There's no news on news. Go over to the X. I'm just telling you, that's where the news is. Everybody's over there. They are not anywhere else because that's where you get accurate information.
Yeah. Somebody said they'd like to see them being hauled off during a live broadcast.
Yeah, but I think that's going to happen too. So I'm on X too. So, I mean, look for me over there. So, I mean, I'm just telling you that, and X is, it's going to expand too. I think what he's doing with that's going to expand. I think, is he going to be part of the new journalism news? Yes. Journalism.
Well, gee, wouldn't it be very nice when real journalism, where you actually do some research and put out the truth as you know it, instead of.
Do you remember real journalism? How they used to do the research on there and used to go on. They used to be in the gut of everything and get on the grounds, and you had to go to the story. You have to go to the country. That's real journalism, not this stuff. Your green screen crap.
They were paid money to make stories up.
Yeah.
Many of these journalists.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody's talking about the eggs. The eggs are just fine. That's all a big farce again, too. Anything that happens they've actually created the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Fixing our corrupted voting system is high priority, too.
We're not going to use that. But we're never going to use that system again. I'm just telling you, there's this waste of money because we're not going to go back to that system anyway.
But it'll be councils, correct?
Yep. And then I can't wait till religion. Those corrupt assholes. And Joel Osteen is one of the biggest ones that, he turned his church down when his people needed him. And so I want to see what happens to his spoiled fruits soon.
Who are you talking about?
Joel Osteen. I'm not talking about religion.
Oh my God.
He's one of the biggest corrupt.
He's a demon if there ever was one.
God. And so all these churches, they need to go down too for what they're really doing. And societies and playing into the system.
I think maybe once people actually see and find out what they are doing, they might take matters into their own hands. We won't see many churches or buildings like that around.
Right. Exactly.
Somebody says that Moody Q-Face says Moody looked like 2.0 today with Shepard. Probably, very well could be.
I haven't looked. Paid attention on that stuff, but yeah. So
okay, somebody's asking you. Question is the current flu cold that's going on being done to us to keep us inside?
I think parts of it is. I do. Because I know that South Dakota got it really bad. Really bad. And then there's Texas got it bad too. So I think there is something going on with that.
Teresa says, this is interesting. I'm on a personal note here. I was called to Arkansas for a year and didn't feel right there. Then was glad when I got called back to Northwest Nevada. I'm still undecided as far as Arkansas is concerned. We'll see. It takes about a year to be someplace to know.
Channel on X I don't even know.
Anyway.
It's Jenny's site, right? I think it's on Jenny's site.
They could just search Jenny's site. You pop up.
Yeah, just put Jenny's site. You'll find me on X. So, I mean, this is the whole thing. It's just we wanted to see all this come to the surface, but now, we are going to feel sick to our stomachs after everything is done. And it's just, I think this is a bloody 2 weeks that's coming. It's not going to stop. And they're not going to stop over the weekend either.
We don't, they have to, there seems to be a desire to move more quickly. And they need to.
They have to.
Time is short. Ugh. This is why some people will still go, oh, I'll just buy coffee there. I wouldn't give those people a dime.
No. Nothing.
Yeah, and not a dime.
Let's go back in the back where they have all the boxed food, and you won't ever eat that stuff again.
Yeah. Well, I have some people that I know that will just say, well, I just get coffee there, or I just do this, or I just do that, and I don't. Why patronize them in any manner, shape, or form when they're doing what they're doing?
Exactly.
Some of our modern conveniences aren't going to be as convenient as they used to be, and you're going to have to get used to it anyway.
Yes, they are. Yeah, Jeep just got me on Amazon delivering it to the house all the time. You don't have to go to the store. Just order all this stuff.
Yeah. Somebody said they've seen the crop dusters fly at night over so-called organic fields. Our food, even organic food, isn't totally organic either because they've allowed certain things. But, you can look at things as good, better, and best. And it certainly is better, but the best is if you could grow it yourself. But how many people can do that? And then you'd have to make sure that the soil was up to par too, because everything that's been done on this planet has just about ruined everything. And it's up to us to help turn it around. And that's what's happening right now, because the American people spoke when they got Mr. T and their smart cities are dumb. People really talk about they're just the free range prison. They're trying to consolidate it, make it, push it.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, this is so true. Local farms are the best, as organic at supermarkets still grown with toxic metals in the soil. Well, the chemtrails, they've been dumping stuff on us forever.
Yeah, they have. They have a question in there. Jenny, are they going to have abundance gardens this year? I think we are. I think the soils can be better. I mean, it can't be as bad as it was last year. Nothing grew. Fruit was not fruit. I mean, they need to give the real seeds back out again. So that was not even real seeds they were giving out.
It's true that the cartels rule in Arizona. There's a lot of corruption there as a result of that. But that's gonna, they're going after the cartels too, from everything I've seen and read. Utilities should be free. I agree. Okay. I'm still looking for any other questions. Do you think things are going to move pretty quickly from here? Like shall we talk about the solar flash?
I don't believe that there's going to be a solar flash. I've always said it's just going to be an energy that's going to change over. And I've said that, it's just, I think it's such a 3D concept. I just feel that we're already been feeling this whole process going into this new energy. So I don't feel like it's something that's going to happen all at once. I think we're already going into it.
So it's just like pulses of high vibe energies.
Yes. That's why we've been tortured for 9 months of energy and Schumann resonance and frequency and
Right.
Turning everything on and off, and Charlie horses at night, and numb in the mouth, and teeth feeling like they're shocking us. I mean, I don't know when I go through all the symptoms, headaches, passing out for 30 minutes, and then like, what is going on? We've already been going through all this. It already has started. So, I mean, it's...
Somebody asking you, Jenny, when do you think the local police and judges will get arrested?
I think it's already started. I think it's already started. And I think the next 2 days are important when everything's in place like a chess game. Okay, and now then the martial law process coming in, and then all those that Trump gave authority over will start to do their job. So everybody just needs to be in their position.
Okay, Phoenix and Portland had insurance canceled like California before the fires. So does that mean we're anticipating more fires in Phoenix and Portland? I believe Portland is next.
Well, I'm just telling you that they're going to cancel insurance altogether because that's another scam.
Yeah. Joe Blow, you already addressed this. Debt forgiveness.
Yeah.
Takes place in August. You're saying later, right?
No, I'm not.
I mean earlier.
Or way earlier.
I said it backwards.
Way earlier.
Way earlier. That's what I meant to say. Okay.
We would want later. That's a different timeline. We don't want that one.
Yeah.
Ask me tomorrow. See what happens with the timeline tomorrow.
Yeah.
See. Oh my goodness. A lot of people are talking about isn't it a full moon tonight, or was it last night? I mean,
last night.
Last night.
Technically, it was last night.
Here is another question for you, Jenny. Will our vision start changing? I saw geometric shapes the other day with blue edges.
That's with the downloads. That's with the new frequency. This is what's there then putting in us and all this stuff. And it's slowly changing how we adapt to things. We're going into our crystal image, and seeing and processing information and all that stuff. I mean, I'm not getting, there's certain things, like I slept on the wrong side the other night and my neck was sore all day, and then I woke up the next morning and it was gone. So recovery is not as bad as I've seen, but there's still stuff going on. So you have to look at things and manifesting in a direction, and don't put doubt in any type of concept at all with the situation. So we're already in it. We're already going through this process. And that's why, and that's the biggest sign will tell you, is you could be, and this is what I noticed it in the summer. Me and Jeep would be in our houses. It'd be 90 outside, and we're freezing inside our houses, okay? Freezing. Yeah. And we're shaking like inside of us. It's a soul thing, but how it's changing into this crystal line, and it just feels like a chisel, I'm just saying there's a lot of different stuff. And then there's, even now, you can run your heater all day and it just feels like you never get warm enough. There's something else changing. Our whole spiritual system has already started this. We keep getting in the 3D thinking, when's it going to start? It was already starting. It started 10 months ago.
What do you think about this comment? Constellation is fake now. The sky is fake now. Not the sky. It's a green screen. The real sky you cannot see anymore.
Exactly.
Da-da-da-da.
Poke a hole in the damn firmament. Because the real space has, they showed me the purples and the pinks and the greens, and it's not colorblind. How is space colorblind? You know, it's not just black and white. So I'm just saying. Those walls need to come down.
Okay, here is someone saying, we are asked about those shots here in New York City hospitals and doctors' offices as well. And then the next comment is, I am a nurse in school, but I'm not going to jail. And some teens have had 3 to 5 boosters of the CV. Well, if you're pushing it,
you're going to jail.
You're a problem.
If you're pushing it, yeah. If you pushed it and they know it and it's documented, you're going to jail.
Because anyone that's in the healthcare should have known by, maybe not at first, but it shouldn't have taken very long for you to figure out, because it's your responsibility to educate yourself in your own field to keep up with it, what's going on. And of course, sorting out the truth from the garbage and propaganda can be challenging, but there's enough people around that were awake to what's going on. They might have been afraid to talk to it, but you would have been able to strike up a conversation and make things
better.
Exactly. Yep. Look at this. See, these are his big pharma in operation. The CVS across the street still broadcasting when you walk in the store. Get your shot. That's what I just witnessed.
They're like hookers on corners now, aren't they? Walgreens. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Turn a trick for her. Just take a shot. I'll give you $20. I'm just saying. It's ridiculous. They're desperate.
Or you might be able to get a donut free.
You might.
Oh my God.
That healthy snack from the pharmacy.
Okay, this is a problem. I can see that. Yes, my nurse coworkers are all brainwashed. Yes, the brainwashing runs deep. It really does. Okay, here's a question. Do Freemasons ever go to jail?
Yes. You know what happens when they go to jail? They get their asses kicked in jail. Just saying. Cops don't want to go to jail. You know that.
Oh, they don't mind other people going to jail, but they don't think they have to.
They don't want to go because you know what? They'll get their asses beat.
It's such a dark place anyway. I mean, the whole way it's all set up, it's just bad.
Oh no, lost her again. She'll be back.
Elon Musk needs to do something about that system. If it's going to go out like that, I'm not getting it until he figures it out. Because she's got a lot of Walgreens are closing. Yeah, they need to.
Yep.
I just can't believe, half the with the shots and everything. It's ridiculous of how people are still offering their arm up in these situations. It's insane.
I wonder if it's because they've already had the first ones or second ones or third ones, and it's just something's in them saying, go get the other one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Program.
Yeah.
This is part of the program on the situation.
A little extra noise in there because there's extra stuff floating around.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, and literally, it boils down to, in some way, and getting away with things in the past. And they just think there's a way we're going to get away with this. There's not. There's no way you're getting away with anything. But they still have it in their minds. They're going to. It's not happening. I mean, literally, it's across the board. There's nowhere to go. No one's going to save you. You have nowhere to hide. And you can't take your money because they're going to freeze it soon. That's what's going to happen. Judges,
I think with those people too,
all this stuff, they're getting geared up to show all these politicians, congressmen, of how much they've been getting from who, and they're going to freeze their accounts. They're going to freeze their accounts and take their assets, just like they did in Hollywood. Completely. I don't know if she's coming back. I don't know if there's a storm there.
I don't know. It's okay.
So, I mean, this is the whole.
There we go.
You guys, we were just off for a couple minutes there.
Yeah.
One of the first major.
Glad you made it back.
At least we got back. Okay. Now we lost the messages, I guess. No, I didn't say hide the messages. No internet, it says. Well, we're coming back on, I think. Why does it say no internet?
I don't know. I'm not seeing that.
That's what it's saying over here by me. I don't know why. That's pretty weird anyway. The questions are going. Well, we're actually at, believe it or not, we're actually at an hour and 27 minutes already.
I know, right?
Wow.
Already.
I guess we're having too much fun.
We'll be back next Thursday anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, why don't when we start with you, Ms. Jeep, do you have any, closing comments, words, or anything, advice, or anything you might want to say? And then Jenny, you can do yours, and then I'll just we can end the show.
Okay. My thing is just keep following what's inside, because you know what's right inside, what's in your heart. You know if it's right, you know if it's wrong. And that's what you have to follow. And thank you for having me.
Yes.
Don't worry, be happy.
There you go.
Sleep is part of the puzzle.
What about you, Jenny? You got anything else you want to say before we go?
Maybe we should do the bell. Everybody knows how to contact me for.
Oh, that's right.
Do the bell.
Thank you for reminding me. Yes, we ring the bell for the children. So let's ring for 1 minute. Just to remind you about this all started because of the children.
Okay, that's for the. So this week, I expect thunder. Thunder's coming everywhere, and I mean in the way that you're seeing that they are closing in on the rats, and the rats have nowhere to go, and that's what's happening. The thunder's coming. They're going to jail. So load them up and take them to the camps that they need to be in, because any type of crimes against humanity, they're not going to have anything left. We're going to take it, and they are going to be prosecuted. And that's what needs to happen. And I do not feel sorry for them. One drop of a child's blood, you have no sympathy. So that's what I have to say tonight. Watch and witness. This is what we're supposed to do. Watch and witness.
Yes. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And we'll be back again next week with an update. And we'll see you then. Stay in the light.
We have found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are, and like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers, stronger than ever. Never say never. Don't look back now. Don't look back now. Rise up, stand with each other. We are sisters and brothers, fighting our place and running the race. We'll take our chance and seize the moment. Hold on tight and don't let go of all your hopes and dreams that light the way. We control our fate. Destiny awaits. We are all the actors in the stories we create. Hope will be our guide. We'll no longer hide. When we roll like thunder, feel the wonder from inside. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your